this is Charlie from Charlie's Awesome World of Adventures, and welcome to the 10th day of the 12 days of Christmas. And today I'll be giving my review on Mufasa, the Lion King. In this one, we go into the origins of Simba's father, Mufasa. So how he was taken away from his home by a terrible flood, and then this being found by a little cub called Taka, who would later become to be known as Scar. But as Mufasa also joined their I thought for a few years, a dangerous fleet of white lions led by their fierce leader Eros attacked that So with the help of new friends Sarabi, Sazu and Rafiki, Mufasa and Taka must set off to find Milele, which is also known as the Island, and so they can start a new pride. So where do I begin with my excitement for this? Let's just say, if you know how much I love both the original and remake of The Lion King, you know that I was really excited for this one. In fact, it was easily my most anticipated film of the year. Yeah, I couldn't wait to see this one and see how well it turned out to be. So I saw it today with my family, and wow, just wow. I had a feeling I love it, but not as much as I thought I would. This film was just incredible. I have quite a lot to say, so I think this is going to be a pretty lengthy review. But with that said, let's get into the characters. Now there are two sets of characters, ones that are listening to the story, and ones that are within the story. Let's start with the ones listening to the story, because they are as important as the ones that are in the main story. With Kiara, as she is the daughter of Simba and Nala, she is the one left behind to learn the story of Mufasa, while her parents are away to have a new cub. Alongside her would be her uncles, in a way, Timon and Pumbaa, who I was surprised to find that they had some pretty decent jokes. Sure, there were times where I could feel like with when they interrupted the story, but when their jokes hit, they were surprisingly pretty hilarious. It's some of the more entertaining parts of the feature. But now we've taken care of the characters that are outside of the story, let's take a look at the ones within the story. We're starting with the main line this is all about, Mufasa. So there was so much about his origins that could make for a fantastic feature, and this film delivered with its character. I like how we learn new skills about him that are different from all the other male lions, and how he's able to sense different things, and how his hunting style could be quite different, and yet despite being considered an outcast, he is the one that's most determined to find Milele at all costs. As he knows and believes that's where his parents will be waiting for him. Alongside him, there is his brother, Scott, who in this film is known as Taka. Within the film, I really love how they show Taka's personality as the happy young prince meant to be king, and that's happy to have Mufasa join that pride. However, but as the film will progress, it does a great job at showing how it becomes the Disney villain we all know and love. And without spoiling the ending, I really like the way it ended up, where it does give a bit of an idea how he became the main villain that we all know and love. Also, if I have to pick up my favourite performance in this film, it easily has to be Kelvin Harrison Jr. because it's Tucker. The rest of the acting is fantastic in this, especially with Aaron Pierre as Mufasa doing a great job and is a worthy successor to James L. Jones. But it's Junior's performance that brought Tucker's character to life. I've supplied the right amount of emotion needed for the character, and making him think, and showing how he would later become to be known as Scar. As for characters that would join the duo on their adventure, that as Sarabi, be someone who was supposed to be the princess of a pride, but after the outsiders attacked, actually she ends up joining Mufasa on top, and Aka on the journey, along with Zazu, who in this film is presented to be her scout. As the feature would go on, I really love how it shows the relationship between Sarabi and the main lines, and how she would later end up falling for Mufasa. So, it was handled really well. And one of the film's stronger elements. And there's also Rafiki, who is both of the main storyteller of the film, and the white-eyed man, Andrew, who was kicked out of his pride, and is willing to help join Mufasa on his journey. And Nitu Malele. As for new characters made exclusively for this story, along with Mufasa's pet, Aaron's, I do like how they don't have much screen time, but are shown as Mufasa's main inspirations to find Mulele. Like that. As Tucker's parent, Aaron, his mum, she is the loving mother that is willing to accept Mufasa as one of their own. Well, a Bussy is the unborn of his pride that doesn't accept outcasts like Mufasa, and would rather be the lazy king that just lays around hoping for his son to follow his footsteps. But then there is the villain of the feature, Kiros. And man, they made a true menace of this villain. They already do a good job of setting up his relationship with Peter, especially after Mufasa killed his son. But as the film would progress, he would prove himself to be a great foe, and a dangerous threat. I'll also give credit to his lionesses, who are able to easily set Mufasa and Taka on their journey. So yeah, a fantastic villain and a great example of the type of character that Scar would later end up becoming into being. Next, there's the songs. If there was one thing I was most excited for about this movie, it would easily be the songs, especially since they brought in Lin-Manuel Miranda to write them. So I watched a little special look on Disney Plus before watching this movie, and then said when reading the script, he knew exactly where a song fitted. Not only did the songs fit well in the film, but they are easily some of the film's biggest highlights. And do give the main reason why this film is worth watching. Granted, they can feel a bit too similar to the ones from the original, but I think they used them as inspiration for these songs, which I do like. The first number is Milele. And Mufasa's parents tell their son about the wonders of the Pride Lands. And after that, there's I Always Wanted a Brother. But the big main song of the feature, where Tucker expresses his excitement of being the future king of his pride, and now that he has Mufasa as a brother. After that, we have the villain song on Bye Bye, which is meant to show Kairos' threat, out of how he wants revenge, and how he wants to rule the entire circle of life. Then it goes to We Go Together, which is a nice little travel on as our main characters to team up to go on their adventure. Following that, there's Tell Me It's You, which is the love battle between Mufasa and Sarabi, which is handled beautifully and might be my favourite song of the feature. But then there is Brother Betrays. Not only a fantastic song on its own, but this is where Kelvin Harrison Jr.'s performance is at its peak. Remember when I said he was the best actor in this film? Well, this song is a clear example as to why. I given hints of the turn his characters go on to take in the original. Well, next there's the story. One thing I'll say I like really well about this film is how it managed to have the main story or coexist. It's with the part where Rafiki's telling the story to Kiara, Timon and Pumbaa. I thought those moments were handled pretty well, and did do a good job at showing the origins. But going into the main story itself, well, yes, this film has a story that blew me away. One thing I like is how it sets everything up to how things would turn out to be in the original film. Like I call the different characters as that you would find under locations, the price land, and how little elements became big main parts of the original feature. The film does a great job as an origin for all those elements that brings them together really well. It also helps that the writing is just fantastic. It doing a great job of mapping out their adventure with a lot of twists and turns. I'm definitely going to do different themes. In fact, there is one thing about Destiny that is handled really well. How even those that can seem like outcasts can be the big main hero, and can be the one that can lead the charge to save the day. It's a great message, and easily the one thing I'll definitely remember the most about this feature. On top of that, the humour is surprisingly pretty good. Well, most of the jokes do happen outside the story. There are times within the main story where characters like Rafiki and Zazu can have some decent humour, and it can be quite funny. Not the funniest movie of the year, but the humour is handled really well. And something that I can easily call a strength. But as a prequel, it does a great job with the emotions and the relationship it's within the characters. It already did a good job of telling us about the type of characters as they'll end up being in the original, but it also does a fantastic job of showing different relationships. It's how Mufasa and Sarabi would become lovers, versus how Mufasa would I would see Rafiki as his royal advisor, and showing the tragic bond between Mufasa and Taka, which us leading into how Taka would become Scott, with an engines for the throne. And then there are other visuals. And man, if you thought the visuals were amazing in the first film, have a look at this film a few times, because this film looks incredible. acceptable, starting with the characters. One criticism that the 2019 film got was that it wasn't great at showing the facial expressions on the animals. Well, I didn't mind that about the 2019 film as much. It does do a good job of improving on that detail and adding more facial expressions, which do fit it well how to express how the characters are feeling with their faces. On top of that, some of their textures have improved. To where they look a lot better than they did in the original. I don't know if it was the textures on the characters themselves or the lighting that reflected on them. But they make the characters look more realistic than they did last time. Also, the scale of the world is incredible. There are different types of landscapes that can be found within this film. And they are all beautiful to look at, showing different areas around Africa, and exploring the entire country. Actually, just about as to how they would end up going on to immediately. And down the mountains, the effects of snow on them can work really well. Whether it be the paw prints that the characters would make, or how the snow would react to their fur. But where the visuals are at their best, this is with the action and musical numbers. But with the musical numbers, they do a great job at using the environments to their advantage, and do help go more lively with the characters, even having a lot in the background for certain numbers. But it's like I always wanted to the brother and bye. As for the action, it can be quite intense and exciting, to the point where I could call one of the most action-packed films of the year. All the action is quite exciting and did leave me on the edge of my seat. Well, it would have if I wasn't in some really comfy recliner seats on my view. But yeah, I would have been on the edge of my seat otherwise. So overall, as this is my most anticipated film of the year, did it end up delivering to all my expectations and become the movie I was hoping? Well, it became everything I wanted and more. Mufasa the Lion King, it works well as both a sequel and a prequel, or to deliver one of the year's best films by offering a really rich and engaging story, incredible visuals, an unforgettable soundtrack, lovable characters, as great acting, and doing a great job to connect itself to the original. As for my recommendation, fans of both the original Lion King and the 2019 remake are absolutely going to love this. Yes, as it would expand more into different details, I will make you more interested within the Lion King world, other than you might already be. The original and remake of The Lion King will always be my favourite films of all time. While I can't say that this film is better than them, it definitely became close. And that's why I'm easily giving this film a 10 out of 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!